Hello everyone, welcome back to 14 Minesweeper Variants. We're moving on to N, negation. And if I click it'll give me a tutorial, but I bet it'll give one anyway. Yeah, okay. 0, so... 2, here there's 2 more colored, here there's 2 more uncolored. So yes, as I predicted, it would be absolute values. Okay. Sure. So here, how do we even start? Clue indicates the difference. I guess, okay, this is a start. If I just click here, will you do this for me? No. But there must be... No, I'm wrong already. I was going to say this must be a mine. But that's not true. What I can say, I guess, is that these two must be the same. They must either be both mines or not mines, right? Because if... No, that's not true either. Ah, no? But this 2, I guess, does tell me something. Because a difference of 2 is large, right? There have to be a lot more mines in one of the 2 regions than the other. So either both of the gray spaces are mines or both of the black spaces are mines, and the opposite, the other color has no mines at all. So, I mean, that tells me, for example, that one of these 2 is a mine, exactly one. If it's this one, then these are either both mines or both not mines. If it's this one, then these are either both mines or both not mines. But they can't... Ah, if it's this one, these can't both be mines. Oh, and likewise, if it's this one, these can't both be mines because it would make the 2 upset. So if this is a mine, then this isn't. Which is what we know from this 2. We know exactly one of these 2 is a mine. So what does that tell me about this? It can't be a mine, right? If it were a mine, then either there'd be a single gray and a single black, impossible, or 2 grays and no blacks, also impossible. So this is not a mine. Okay, thank goodness. We should be able to say these aren't mines, right? Because this region is balanced, either with a black and a gray or nothing. And this, if you add these 2 to the region, it stays balanced. And we can only add black mines, so the number we're adding must be 0. Okay, good. Still making progress. The difference of 2 here must mean that some of these gray spaces have mines in them. At least 2. Right? Now, which 2 could they be? Could they be both of these? No, there'd be no way for this 0 to be balanced. Could they be both of these? Well, maybe. Could they be both of these? No. Could they be both of these? I don't know, maybe. We know exactly one of these is a mine still. That seems like it should be important to this 0 somehow. But this 2 is obviously the best place... I mean, I don't know. It appears to be the best place to be looking at the moment, because big numbers are good. They create high information density. Whereas zeros are just like, oh, about half mines. Or something like that. Which is close to what we'd expect at the beginning of the puzzle anyway, so they don't tell us that much. 2 constraints are hard to fill in. So it can't be... Can we say whether this black space has to be a mine or can't be a mine? Because there could be 3 gray spaces that are mines for this too. That would be fine if this were turned on. The more I look at it, the more the interplay between this 2 and this 0 seems important. Or maybe it's this 2 and this 0? Because, I don't know. We can say, for example, at most one of these 2 is a mine. So at least one of these gray ones is a mine. Fine. But I can't do anything with this at least. Because what other areas are touching both of these mines? Nothing, right? Whereas in the vertical direction, it seems impactful somehow. Like... Oh, it has to be these 2, doesn't it? Because it's this 2, it's the 2 and this 0 I should be looking at. Because this region is balanced, the region touching the 0. And somehow the 2 has to acquire an imbalance of 2 without disrupting this balanced region. There's only 2 other places it could get mines here. God, I hate red on gray. That gives us this 1. You're even going to autofill this 2 for me. That's nice. And this region being balanced, we can't actually tell. There could be a mine here and in one of these 2, right? Except that this 0 is finished. And now we can maybe do this? This? No, I guess not. Okay. This, though, we can, right? Yeah. We needed both of the blacks to counter both of the grays. And now just, like, clicking through probably finishes the puzzle somehow. Yeah. An imbalance of 2. Well, this is a mine, isn't it? Because this 2 needs to put at least one of its mines in here. I think at least 2, in fact. No, 2 is impossible. Right. So it has to put a mine here, which means to be balanced, this needs at least 1 gray mine. There it is. Now, this area can only have 1 mine. It must have exactly 1, in fact. And this 2 needs at least 2 black mines. So one of them's here, the other one's here, and this is finished. We can't put a mine here because that would require too many mines in this area. This imbalance of 1? It looks like these are not mines, but they could both be mines, I think, without disrupting anything. The 0s would both be balanced. The 2 would be okay. We'd have to take another mine from this gray space to keep this 0 happy, but that would be possible. Or would it? This 0 would make that a problem, wouldn't it? Because if we said, yes, of course, these are all mines, then we get no mines here. This 0 has already 2 blacks, so it needs 2 grays, which means this is a mine. But now to be balanced, this 0 needs this to be a mine. And now we see 3 black mines, and we can't have a 3rd gray mine. So in fact, it is the case that these can't be mines. They have to be non-mines. Now this 0 is finished. So is that one. How am I going to fit 6 more mines in here, huh? Seems like a lot. This, I don't know. None of these zeros seem obviously actionable, right? They're each kind of the same pattern of 2 of one color and 1 of another. And so we can say that either there's no mines there at all, or there's 1 of one color and 1 of another, of the other, which would include the middle cell for all of them. So, well, not this one. I guess its cell would be here. So, I mean, I guess we could say, for example, if we have a mine here, then its neighbor must be here, and then no mine here. But so what? Likewise, if we put a mine here, we get one here and here. No, wait. There can't be a mine here, because it needs this to be its neighbor, but then this 0 can't ever be satisfied. So this is not a mine. This can't be a mine either, right? Because this region is balanced, and this would upset it if we made it a mine. And the same is true here. This can't be a mine, I think, because this region of 3 is balanced, and this is the only way to change it. So now this 0 is done, and apparently the other 6 are all mines. Okay. Incredible. I'm a genius. This is a mine. This region of 3 is balanced. This is the only change we could make to it. Now, this 2 must have more blacks than grays, because there's no way to have 2 more grays than blacks. But I don't know if it's 3 blacks and 1 gray, or 2 blacks and no grays. Well, I mean, this square is kind of interesting as the intersection between these two. Putting a mine here. We can say this is a mine, can't we? I think we can. Because which is another black cell that this takes? If we take this as one of our black cells for the 2, then this 0 region needs both of these gray cells to compete, to balance out. And that means this 2 would need another black cell in order to have an imbalance of 2. So either way, whether this is a mine or not, this is one. Not sure how helpful that was, but here we are. If either of these is a mine, then so is this. But I don't see how helpful that is. It kind of makes this cell not very good at balancing out the 0, right? Because if we try to make this a mine in order to balance out the 0, we immediately have to also make this a mine, and the 0 is still imbalanced. So I think the only way to balance the 0 is to put a mine here and no mine here, and then these two are both the same and not affecting parity, right? Yeah. Okay. Well, if these two are the same, and we have 2 black mines here, there must be no gray mine here to keep the balance of 2. Cool. Now we can say these two are the same, so this can't be a mine. If these two are the same, this must be a mine. In order for this one to be happy, we have to fill in this gray and no blacks. Autoclick should do that? Yes. A difference of 3. My goodness. The only way to do that... There are 2 ways to do that. We could fill... Right now there's a difference of 1, so we need 1 more black than gray square here. We could fill all of these in. And fill both of these in, and that would be our 5 mines. And I think, given the information I have now, that is a possible solution to the puzzle. Wait. No, I said we could fill all 3 of these in. That would be impossible. It would be a difference of 2 if I did that. For a difference of 3, we need all 4 black cells and no more gray cells, so just the one we already have. So in fact, we can say this. These two are the same. They're either both mines or both not mines. If they're both not mines, there's no space for 3 mines, so they're both mines. Autoclick? We did it! Unlock the 6x6 ends. Ugh. Fine. Difference of 2 here is very easy. These two are the same. I should have a marking for, like, they're the same. Maybe I'll do that. I don't know. An equal sign or something? Because it's already useful to know these are the same, because it doesn't influence the parity of this 2. This 2 needs, in these 4 squares, to have 2 more of one color than another. It obviously can't have 2 more blacks than grays in that area, so it needs 2 more grays than blacks, so we can do all this. Here, I can't say for sure. We could have 1 more gray and 1 more black. But we could say, you know what? All these 3, their parity is 0. That's kind of useful, right? Likewise here, yeah? Their parity is 0 also. You know, we could say that, like, we're running out of good ways to mark stuff, but somehow I could mark this area of 5 has to have a parity of +1 gray. I don't know quite how to note that, but we need 1 more gray mine than black mine in this area. I don't think I can do much with that at the moment, even though it might very well be the next clue I have to focus on. I don't know how to note it, so I'm just going to leave it alone. And I guess... Oh, this 0 is what I'm supposed to work on, because this region has kind of the opposite parity as what I was just drawing here. It needs one more black than gray. And guess what? There's only one black left. So this has to be the mine. Now we said this region has the same parity. And it's already good that I marked that, because now I can say, oh, well, to balance out this black, we need a gray, and then the region's done. Now that's interesting. This stuff is all the same parity. And so is this stuff. I'm not sure what to do about that. Well, I can erase this because I've filled in all these squares. This overlap is very important somehow. Like, if this were a mine, what would happen? We'd need this gray to be a mine. Because of this too. And then I guess nothing else. If this were a mine, this would also have to be a mine. Right? Because there's no way to balance this two. And if this weren't a mine, we would need... Well, that wouldn't really... Oh, yeah. Then none of these grays would be mines. Because that would be it for this, too. It would have to stop. So, I mean, for one thing, these two are the same. And if these two are the same, and this region has a neutral parity, then this can't be a mine. And the same argument applies here. And we can trim things down to just that. These two are the same. I kind of think they have to both be mines, right? With 5 left? If they're both not mines, this stuff is all mine, and that's just not possible. These two are the same because of this 1. Therefore, this 0, to stay at neutral parity, can't put a mine here. Difference of 2. Oh my god, okay. Done. Well, this 0 in the corner obviously can't have any mines. This is a mine, right? Because this region is imbalanced, and the only way to fix this region is to put a mine here. So this 1 now needs the mine to be there. We know that this region is imbalanced. And we also know that this region is imbalanced. So a mine here would make this region balanced, which is no good. So it must be not a mine. Oh, this is a mine, right? Because this is imbalanced. This has to be balancing the 0. I said it should be a mine, but I clicked and made it not a mine. God, I hate this game. Okay, let's just try that again. Right, I said this is imbalanced. This has to not be a mine. That's as far as we got up here. Then I was looking at this stuff, and I proved something but clicked wrong. Not a finger slip, just like I'm still marking things as not mines versus not mines. I don't know. I just say the word mine a lot, and I get confused. So what was I able to prove? These two are imbalanced. To balance it, this has to be a mine. Let's start writing out some. That region is balanced. These two are also balanced, right? They're either both mines or both not mines. Okay. This region is imbalanced. I don't have a good marker for that. Let's use red for now. Now, I guess this one is interesting because it has an imbalance of 1, which means it has one more black than gray. There's no way to have more grays than blacks, given what we already know, right? So, for example, these... I was going to say these grays can't both be mines, but that's nonsense. These can't both be mines, because then there wouldn't be enough grays to balance out the 1. So these two are not both mines. But it might be that none of them are mines, or that one of them's a mine, so I can't really make any balancing arguments about it yet, I don't think. I mean, the only place we can possibly make any progress is by using clues from this one's clue, right? Everything else is obviously deadlocked. So how do we make progress on this one? I guess a thing we can sort of say is this one has kind of two little subregions, right? Let me get out my green pen. There's this region and this region. One of those regions is balanced, and the other one has more grays than blacks. I think I can say that's true, can't I? Could there be more... Like, how else could you do this? If they both have more grays than blacks, then we're at balance instead of at 1. We're at 0, so that's no good. And if neither of them have more grays than blacks, then we can't attain balance of 1. So there must be exactly one of them that's balanced. And if that's the case, that has more grays than blacks, I mean. And if that's the case, the other one must be balanced. So I think that argument is sound. Okay, what do I do about that? How do I know which is which? Well, I know neither region has more blacks than grays. That's something, I guess. Hang on. This is so easy. I got tangled up a while ago and didn't notice. Erase all these markings. this region, I marked it as balanced, but it's obviously not. It has to be the opposite. It has to be more gray than black. You can just click here. Auto-click will do it for me. And here. And here. And here. And here. This is why you should always just auto-click on everything. So these have to both be mines, I think, right? Because this region isn't... Nope, that would be... Yeah. This region is balanced. Sorry, it's at +1, which is where it wants to be. +1 black. So this has to be balanced. And if they were both... Sorry. Obviously they're not... Yeah. I keep getting confused when I talk about balance. Whether I mean one of them's a mine and the other isn't. Or whether I mean they're the same. Because they're the same isn't, like, usually what is meant by balanced, I feel like. Usually you would have, like, two opposites. Which is what we have here, right? These two are opposites of each other. But that's because they're both mines or both not mines. They're opposite in color. So anyway, the point is... This 1 is already at a 1. So if I put a mine in just one of these, it will be unhappy. So I need both or neither, and to get to 3 total mines, I must have both. Done. I have unlocked the X's. And it's been half an hour, so we can maybe let visions of sugar plums dance in your heads. Just like we did for this episode. What the heck could be going on with the X's? What could a puzzle with X's mean? The clue indicates the number of mines in a cross region with distance 2. Okay, well, tomorrow we'll learn what the hell that means. I'm guessing it means, like, I don't know, that's really weird. Oh, probably a plus, right? Well, I mean, I could click here and it would tell me, but we're leaving that for next time. Hope you guys enjoyed. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you next time.